Oh, Lord. See if you can hear. Oh, can't do it. All right, that's fine. Did I put my, give me 1 second. Hi, Shane. Welcome. Hey, Spirit Fox. Give me 2 seconds. Just gotta grab my tax information so I can receive my monthly payout. Can't they just do it the moment? Okay. All right. Hey. Wait, guys. Okay. So this thing is charged up. All right, so nothing's charged. Okay, that's fine. Fabulous. No, this one. This one's dead. Why is everything dead? I don't understand. All right. Okay, so interesting. Interesting. Okay, what's today? Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I was looking for something. Well, I was just kind of looking to see what they were sending me, but hold on, I'm just gonna do this one. I'm not sure if I can do this one or not, but let's see. I don't know if this is okay, this is like a regular live. All right, welcome. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so
The Secret by Rhonda Byrne.
oh my gosh. All right, everybody's still sleeping, so I hope you can hear it. So anyway, sometimes y'all don't sleep anyway, so I just kind of do what I feel like doing a little bit, unless somebody says something otherwise. Morning, guys. We're reading from Genesis. I really like this background, so sparkly. Alright, so read Genesis and oh wow. Alright, so if you guys are on my team with Solio Talent Agency, or if you're on my Discord, then you will know what I'm talking about. So, I'm going to read this to you. It has been the error of schools to teach astronomy and all the other sciences and subjects of natural philosophy as accomplishments only, whereas they should be taught theologically or with reference to the being who is the author of them. For all the principles of science are of divine origin. Man cannot make or invent or contrive principles. He can only discover them, and he ought to look through the discovery to the author. When we examine an extraordinary piece of machinery, an astonishing pile of architecture, a well-executed statue, or a highly finished painting, our ideas are naturally led to think of the extensive genius and talent of the artist. When we study the elements of geometry, we think of Euclid. When we study gravitation, we think of Newton. How then is it that when we study the works of God in creation, we stop short and do not think of God? The evil that has resulted from the error of the schools in teaching natural philosophy is an accomplishment only has been that of generating in the pupils of species of atheism. Instead of looking through the works of creation to the Creator himself, they stop short and employ the knowledge they acquired to create doubts of his existence. But infidelity, by ascribing every phenomenon to properties of matter, conceives a system of which it cannot account, and yet it pretends to demonstration. Wow. That's good. That is really good. That is really good. So they're talking about the founding fathers, and basically they're saying Thomas Paine, even though he's very aggressively anti-religious individual among the founders, in 1798 he addressed to the leaders in France. Paine pointedly denounced that educational system for teaching students that man was the result of prehistoric cosmic accidents and had developed from some other species. Our founding fathers were well acquainted with these writings and the theories of evolution long before Darwin synthesized them in his famous book. The founders spoke openly about the creation issue and constantly took the side of the Bible. This was true even for Thomas Paine, certainly the most openly, aggressively anti-religious individual among the founders. In a 1798 address to the leaders in France, Paine pointedly denounced their educational system for teaching students that man was the result of prehistoric cosmic accidents and had developed from some other species. Wow. Hi, Libless Creation 91. Thank you for liking the live. Appreciate you. Good morning. Okay, here it is. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This creationist view is not an inconsequential topic in the Bible. It is repeated in numerous verses, always affirming that man and the world he inhabits came into existence by the direct action of God, not through any other process or means as evolution. Psalms 92, 95:5, Isaiah 42:5, 45:18, John 1:1-3, Ephesians 3:9, Colossians 1:7, 16. All right. Many today believe the theory of evolution is the product of Charles Darwin and his 1859 work, The Origins of Species. But historical records are exceedingly clear that the major arguments in today's evolution creation debate were largely in place well before the birth of Christ. For example, Anaximander 610 546 BC introduced the theory of spontaneous generation. Diogenesis 412 323 BC introduced the concept of the primordial slime. Empedocles 495 455 BC introduced the theory of the survival of the fittest of natural science, natural selection. Democritus 460 370 BC advocated the mutability and adaptation of species, and the writings of Lucretius 9955 BC announced that all life sprang from the Mother Earth rather than from any specific deity. Similarly, predicting Darwin, Bruno 1548 1600 published works argue against creation and for evolution. Leibniz 1646 1716 taught the theory of intermedial species. Buffon 1707 1788 taught that man was a quadruped ascended from the apes, about which Helvetius also wrote in 1758. Swedenborg 1688 and 1772 advocated and wrote on the nebular hypothesis, the early Big Bang theory in 1734, as did Kant in 1755, etc. Wow. Okay. This one's really funny. The other founders held creationist positions. If mankind, with their inherently intellectual powers and natural capabilities for improvement, if mankind, with their inherently intellectual powers and natural capacities for improvement, had inhabited this earth for millions of years, the present inhabitants would not only be vastly more intelligent than we now find them, but there would be vestiges of the former races to be found in every habitable part of the globe, floods and earthquakes notwithstanding. Unless we adopt Lord Monboddo's 1714 and 1799, hey Antonia, a Scottish anthropologist who advocated evolution, supposition that mankind were originally monkeys, it is impossible to admit the idea that they could have existed millions of years ago without making more discoveries and improvements than the early histories of nations warned us to believe they had done. The belief in an uncreated, self-existent, intelligent first cause take possession of our minds, whether we will or not. Because if man could not create himself, nothing else could. And matter, if it were not external, could produce nothing but matter. It could never produce thought, nor free will, nor conscience. This must have been, therefore, a time when this globe and its inhabitants did not exist. The question then arises, what gave it existence? We answer, God, the great first cause of all things. Daniel Webster. That makes sense to me. The movements of the heavenly bodies so exactly held in their course by the balance of centrifugal and centripetal forces, the structure of our earth itself, with its distribution of lands, waters, and atmosphere, animal and vegetable bodies examined in all their minute particles, insects, mere atoms of life, yet as perfectly organized as man or mammoth. The mineral substances, their generation and uses. It is impossible, I say, for the human mind not to believe that there is in all this design, cause and effect, up to an ultimate cause, a fabricator of all things from matter and motion. This preserver and regulator, while permitted to exist in their present forms, and their regenerator into new and other forms. Thomas Jefferson. It might be judged an affront to your understanding should I go about to prove this first principle, the existence of a deity, and that he is the creator of the universe, for that would suppose you ignorant of what all mankind in all ages have agreed in. I shall therefore proceed to observe that he must be a being of infinite wisdom, as appears in his admirable order, disposition. All right, let me see. Hi, HM. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. I shall therefore proceed to observe that he must be a being of infinite wisdom, as appears in his admirable order and disposition of things, whether we consider the heavenly bodies of the stars and the planets and their wonderful regular motions, or this earth compounded of such an excellent mixture of all the elements, or the admirable structure of animate bodies of such infinite variety, and yet everyone adapted to its nature and the way of life is to be placed in, whether on earth, in the air, or in the water, and so exactly that the highest and most exquisite human reason cannot find a fault. Benjamin Franklin. Ecclesiastes 1:9 tells us that there is nothing new under the sun, and that is certainly true with the creation-evolution debate. Like most of all the founders who lined up behind the wisdom of the Bible, perhaps John Quincy Adams summarized things the best. It is so obvious to every reasonable being that he did not make himself, and the world which he inhabits could as little make itself than the moment we begin to exercise the power of reflection. It makes impossible to escape the conviction that there is a creator. Good morning. Hi. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm good. How are you? Are you doing a meditation? Welcome to, let me see, I should put on some, okay. Let me see.
In your entire life by changing the way you think. Bill Harris, teacher and founder of Centerpoint Research Institute. I had a student named Robert who was taking an online course I had, part of which entails email access. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Chapter 1. The Secret Revealed. Bob Proctor, philosopher, author, and personal coach. The secret gives you anything you want. happiness, health, and wealth. Dr. Joe Vitale, metaphysician, marketing specialist, and author. You can have, do, or be anything you want. John Assaraf, entrepreneur and money-making expert. We can have whatever it is that we choose.
Okay. I will give them a heart to know me, for I am the Lord, and they will be my people, and I will be their God, for they will return to me with their whole heart. Jeremiah 24:7. Hi, Michelle. Good morning, chicken noodles. All right, so I'm reading from the Bible. This is the Founder's Bible, signature historian David Barton, general editors Brad Cummings and Lance Wubbles, the Shiloh Road, New American Standard Bible. Oh my gosh, I need another one to say this. Hold up. And I'm reading from Dream It, Pin It, Live It, Making Vision Boards Work for You by Terry Savelle Foy. I'm also a part of her Bible study class. The individual one I purchased, which was like under $10, and her other one, which was like a larger Bible study for a group. So if anybody wants to join that, you can join my Discord, message me, and let me know if you want to do that, because we'll have to do it like in sessions, because we want to see the results of what we're actually working on. So it's very personalized and individualized. So once we get started, we're going to move on with that group, which is why I offer a subscription, because it's frustrating to keep starting over when we already started something. If you've read many, and I love the fact that Cheerleader of Dreams, Terry Savelle Foy, she also talks about The Secret in here, which I'm about to read right now. If you've read very many success books or immersed yourself in the world of personal development, then you have surely heard about the importance of having a vision board in order to get what you wish for. The world became aware of the significance of vision boards when the launch of The Secret, a DVD unmasking the hidden reality of the law of attraction, aka the law of love. Oh my gosh, 6:27. We're gonna end in like 2 minutes. With success coaches worldwide sharing personal experience with their own vision boards, as well as Oprah Winfrey urging viewers to design their dreams. Many people have unleashed their crafting skills by framing their future. In 1993, a 9-year-old girl was asked by a teacher to make a vision board. She pinned a photo of the singer Selena, known as the Queen of Tejano music at the time, holding her Grammy Award. That little girl grew up to become an international pop star, one of the best-selling artists of all time, and is on Forbes' list of top-earning women in music. That little girl was Katy Perry. In high school, DeAndre Cortez Way made a list of all the things he wanted to achieve in his journal. The list included 1, get a record deal. Hi, Nick Stewart. 2, have a #1 song. 3, have a platinum album. 4, invest in a dance everyone would do. 1 year later, he checked everything off his list. DeAndre Cortez Way, better known as Soulja Boy, as an American rapper, record producer, actor, and entrepreneur, who listed at number 18 on the Forbes list of hip-hop cash kings of 2010. Surrounding yourself with images of your vision causes your dreams to become more alive. Morning, Honey Crochet and Jennifer Himalita. Welcome. Good morning. It is a vital component of your success to surround yourself with what can be and not just what is. That's the power of vision. The vision board added clarity to your dreams and desires by allowing you to see them. It helps you concentrate and focus on your specific life goals. Basically, it keeps your attention on your intention. I decorated my bedroom wall right next to my bed. There was this big wall that I decorated all with pictures. I hung up pictures of strong men, bodybuilders, wrestlers, and boxers, and so on. I was driven to think big and to dream big. And to dream big. Everyone else thought that I was crazy. What you do is create a vision of who you want to be and then live in that picture as if it were already true. Hi, Kate Ash, welcome. Hey, Karen Huffman S, welcome. What you do is create a vision of who you want to be and then live in that picture as if it were already true. My pastor talks about this with the fourth dimension. Arnold Schwarzenegger, in the process of achieving his bodybuilding dream of becoming Mr. Universe. Vision boards and vision board parties have become popular over time, but the majority of those use them to not realize that God is the one who wants us to be clear on our vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. So we are having vision board parties here at our home, virtually and in person, but obviously with God as the forefront, which I call Bible studies. Let's break that scripture down into more plain language. Perish means die. The Bible says very clearly that we will die without vision. Vision keeps you alive. It takes you from where you currently are to where you long to be. I'm reading from Dream It, Pen It, Live It by Teresa Belfoy. I suggest you check her out. I've invested into myself tens of thousands of dollars into myself, and hers is still the most affordable, and best. Hey, Angel Baby. Hi, Smiley or Big. Welcome. Let's break the scripture down into more plain language. Perish means die. The Bible says very clearly that you will die without vision. Vision keeps you alive. It takes you from where you currently are to where you long to be. All the way back in Genesis, God told Abraham, go outside and look up at the stars. For as many stars as you can see, that's how many descendants you are going to have. See Genesis 15:5. He later told Abraham to look at the grains of sand because it also represented his number of future descendants. He wanted Abraham to have a picture of it in his mind, to be able to visualize it. Consider this. Abraham lived in the desert. What was he surrounded by all night long? Sand. God knew it wasn't enough for Abraham to hear about his future. He also needed to see where he was headed. He was literally surrounded by vision. Consequently, he became what he beheld. When you create your vision in the form of a vision board, a vision book, or even an app in your smartphone, you are seeing yourself the way you want to be. I have been using vision boards for years, and they have kept me in continual state of progression. Having a vision board will help you on many levels, including prioritizing your goals, obtaining clarity in your life purpose, building your faith in God's ability to perform the impossible, boosting your self-esteem, confidence and self-esteem, and reminding you of your mission. When you're surrounded by ongoing negative messages that life will never get any better, your vision board will serve as a visual reminder of where you are headed. It will keep you focused when you are tempted to give up. It keeps you single-minded and full of faith. Hey, Greg Littman. Hey, Imran Hussein. Hey, Maxibold 5. Hello, Ola. All right, so I'm gonna start getting ready so I can do my visual transformation. I come on like this because I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, I can't do my purpose because, whatever excuses there is. I'm being here in all of my glory, and you can do the same. So I want to encourage body positivity and self-love and self-acceptance, because if you don't love yourself, how can you be a good neighbor to anyone else? The Bible says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. So how can you love yourself? How can you love your neighbor if you don't truly love yourself? All of it. So we're gonna do that now, and I'm gonna play The Secret by Rhonda Bynes full audio. It's on YouTube. Law of Attraction. All right, so hello, Happy. Thanks for joining us. We just read from Dream It, Pin It, Live It. Before that, we read the Bible, the Founder's Bible. And now we're about to listen to, hi Lita, welcome. We're about to listen to The Secret. All right, let's go.
I don't care how big it is. What kind of a house do you want to live in? Do you want to be a millionaire? What kind of a business do you want to have? Do you want more success? What do you really want? Dr. John Demartini, philosopher, chiropractor, healer, and personal transformation specialist. This is the great secret of life. Dr. Dennis Waitley, psychologist and trainer in the field of mind potential. The leaders in the past who had the secret wanted to keep the power and not share the power. They kept people ignorant of the secret. People went to work. They did their job. They came home.
Is that too loud?
They were on a treadmill with no power because the secret was kept in the
Is that too loud,
fear.
Mike?
Throughout history, there have been many who coveted the knowledge of the secret,
Right.
and there have been many who found a way of spreading this
Yes, sir.
knowledge to the world. Michael Bernard Beckwith, visionary and founder of Agape International Spiritual Center, I've seen many miracles take place in people's lives. Financial miracles, miracles of physical healing, mental healing, healing of relationships. Jack Canfield, author, teacher, life coach, and motivational speaker. All of this happened because of knowing how to apply the secret. What is the secret? Bob Proctor. You've probably been sitting there wondering, what is the secret? I'll tell you how I've come to understand it. We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws. The natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't even have any difficulty building spaceships. We can send people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second.
Hello?
Wherever you are, India, Australia, New Zealand, Stockholm, London, Toronto, Montreal, or New York, we're all working with one power, one law. It's attraction. The secret is the law of attraction. Everything that's coming into your life, you are attracting into your life. And it's attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind.
30 might
It's
not
what
be
you're
the best
thinking.
time to take a bath.
Whatever is going on in your mind, you are
Throwing it out
attracting
there like
to.
that.
Every thought of yours is a real thing, of course. Francis Mulford, 1834 to 1891.
Look at it last time it worked
Great
out. Remember I
speakers
spoke
who
to
have
this
never
and I
lived
did
told us
I
that
did
the
all
law
that.
of attraction is the most
Don't want to
powerful
get
law
on
in
here
the
and
universe.
fix whatever.
Poets such as William Shakespeare, Robert
Trust me,
Browning,
it'll work out.
and William Blake delivered it in their poetry. Musicians such as Ludwig van Beethoven expressed it through their music. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci depicted it in their paintings. Great thinkers including Socrates, Plato, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Pythagoras, Sir Francis Bacon, Sir Isaac Newton, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and Victor Hugo shared it in their writings and teachings. Their names have been immortalized, and their legendary existence has survived centuries. Religions, such as Hinduism, Hermetic traditions, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and civilizations, such as the ancient Babylonians and Egyptians, delivered it through their writings and stories. Recorded throughout the ages in all its forms, the law can be found in ancient writings through all the centuries. It was recorded in stone in 3000 BC. Even though some coveted this knowledge, and indeed they did, It has always been there for anyone to discover. The law began at the beginning of time. It has always been and will always be. It is the law that determines the complete order in the universe, every moment of your life, and every single thing you experience in your life. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. The law of attraction is forming your entire life experience, and this all-powerful law is doing that through your thoughts. You are the one who calls the law of attraction into action, and you do it through your thoughts. In 1912, Charles Connell described the law of attraction as the greatest and the most infallible law upon which the entire system of creation depends. B.O.B. Proctor. Wise people have always known this. You can go right back to the ancient Babylonians. They've always known this. It's a small select group of people. The ancient Babylonians and their great prosperity have been well documented by scholars. They are also known for creating one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Through their understanding and application of the laws of the universe, they became one of the wealthiest races in history. B.O.B. Proctor. Why do you think that 1% of the population earns around 96% of all the money that's being earned? Do you think that's an accident? It's designed that way. They understand something. They understand the secret, and now you are being introduced to the secret. People who have drawn wealth into their lives use the secret, whether consciously or unconsciously. They think thoughts of abundance and wealth, and they do not allow any contradictory thoughts to take root in their minds. Their predominant thoughts are of wealth. They only know wealth, and nothing else exists in their minds. Whether they are aware of it or not, their predominant thoughts of wealth are what brought wealth to them. It is the law of attraction in action. A perfect example to demonstrate the secret and the law of attraction in action is this. You may know of people who acquired massive wealth, lost it all, and within a short time acquired massive wealth again. What happened in these cases, whether they knew it or not, is that their dominant thoughts were on wealth. That is how they acquired it in the first instance. Then they allowed fearful thoughts of losing the wealth to enter their minds, until those fearful thoughts of loss became their dominant thoughts. They tipped the scales from thinking thoughts of wealth to thinking thoughts of loss, and so they lost it all. Once they had lost it, however, the fear of loss disappeared, and they tipped the scales back with dominant thoughts of wealth, and wealth returned. The law responds to your thoughts, no matter what they may be. Like attracts like. John Assaraf. The simplest way for me to look at the law of attraction is if I think of myself as a magnet, and I know that a magnet will attract to you are the most powerful magnet in the universe. You contain a magnetic power within you that is more powerful than anything in this world, and this unfathomable magnetic power is emitted through your thoughts. Bob Doyle, author and law of attraction specialist. Basically put, the law of attraction says that like attracts like, but we're really talking at a level of thought. The law of attraction says like attracts like, and so as you think of thought, you are also attracting like thoughts to you. Here are more examples you may have experienced with the law of attraction in your life. Have you ever started to think about something you were not happy about, and the more you thought about it, the worse it seemed? That's because as you think one sustained thought, the law of attraction immediately brings more like thoughts to you. In a matter of minutes, you have gotten so many like unhappy thoughts coming to you that the situation seems to be getting worse. The more you think about it, the more upset you get. You may have experienced attracting like thoughts when you listen to a song, and then found that you couldn't get that song out of your head. The song just kept playing over and over in your mind. When you listen to that song, even though you may not have realized it, you gave your full attention and focus of thought to it. As you did that, you are powerfully attracting more like thoughts of that song. And so the law, attraction moved into action and delivered more thoughts of that song, over and over again. John Assaraf. Our job as humans is to hold on to the thoughts of what we want. Make it absolutely clear in our minds what we want. And from that we start to invoke one of the greatest laws in the universe, and that's the law of attraction. You become what you think about most, but you also attract what you think about most. Your life right now is a reflection of your past thoughts. That includes all the great things and all the things you consider not so great. Since you attract to you what you think about most, it is easy to see what your dominant thoughts have been on every subject of your life, because that is what you have experienced. Until now. Now you are learning the secret, and with this knowledge, you can change everything. Bob Proctor. If you see it in your mind, you're going to hold it in your hand. If you can think about what you want in your mind and make that your dominant thought, you'll bring it into your life. Mike Dooley, author and international speaker, and that principle can be summed up in 3 simple words.
Is that water coming back?
Thoughts become things.
Good.
Through this
Yeah,
most
I was
powerful
wrong.
law, your thoughts become the
No.
things in your life. Your
Sounds
thoughts
like it's
become
gone for a
things.
minute.
Yeah.
Say this over to yourself and let it seep into your consciousness and your awareness. Your thoughts become things. John Assaraf. What most people don't understand is that a thought has a frequency. We can measure a thought. And so if you're thinking that thought over and over and over again, if you're imagining in your mind having that brand new car, having the money that you need, building that company, finding your soulmate, if you're imagining what that looks like, you're emitting that frequency on a consistent basis. Dr. Joe Vitale. Thoughts are sending out that magnetic signal that is drawing the parallel back to you. The predominant thought or the mental attitude is the magnet, and the law is that like attracts like. Consequently, the mental attitude will invariably attract such conditions as correspond to its nature. Charles Haanel, 1866 to 1949. Thoughts are magnetic, and thoughts have a frequency. As you think, those thoughts are sent out into the universe, and they magnetically attract all like things that are on the same frequency. Everything sent out returns to the source, and that source is you. Think of it this way. We understand that a television station's transmission tower broadcasts via a frequency, which is transformed into pictures on your television. Most of us don't really understand how it works, but we know that each channel has a frequency, and when we tune into that frequency, we see the pictures on our television. We choose the frequency by selecting the channel, and we then receive the pictures broadcast on that channel. If we want to see different pictures on our television, we change the channel and rune into a new frequency. You are a human transmission tower, and you are more powerful than any television tower created on Earth. You are the most powerful transmission tower in the universe. Your transmission creates your life, and it creates the world. The frequency you transmit reaches beyond cities, beyond countries, beyond the world. It reverberates throughout the entire universe, and you are transmitting that frequency with your thoughts. The pictures you receive from the transmission of your thoughts are not on a television screen in your living room. They are the pictures of your life. Your thoughts create the frequency. They attract like things on that frequency, and then they are broadcast back to you as your life pictures. If you want to change anything in your life, change the channel and change the frequency by changing your thoughts. The vibrations of mental forces are the finest and consequently the most powerful in existence. Charles Haanel, Bob Proctor. See yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. It works every time with every person. As you think of yourself living in abundance, you are powerfully and consciously determining your life through the law of attraction. It's that easy. But then the most obvious question becomes, why isn't everybody living the life of their dreams? Attract the good dusted of the bad. John Assaraf, here's the problem. Most people are thinking about what they don't want, and they're wondering why it shows up over and over again. The only reason why people do not have what they want is because they are thinking more about what they don't want than what they do want. Listen to your thoughts, and listen to the words you are saying. The law is absolute, and there are no mistakes. An epidemic worse than any plague that humankind has ever seen has been raging for centuries. It is the don't want epidemic. People keep this epidemic alive when they predominantly think, speak, act, and focus on what they don't want. But this is the generation that will change history because we are receiving the knowledge that can free us of this epidemic. It begins with you, and you can become a pioneer of this new thought movement by simply thinking and speaking about what you want. B.O.B. Doyle, the law of attraction, doesn't care whether you perceive something to be good or bad, or whether you don't want it or whether you do want it. It's responding to your thoughts. So if you're looking at a mountain of debt, feeling terrible about it, that's the signal you're putting out into the universe. I feel really bad because of all this debt I've got. You're just affirming it to yourself. You feel it on every level of your being. That's what you're going to get more of. The law of attraction is a law of nature. It is impersonal, and it does not see good things or bad things. It is receiving your thoughts and reflecting back to you those thoughts as your life experience. The law of attraction simply gives you whatever it is you are thinking about. Lisa Nichols, author and personal empowerment advocate. The law of attraction is really obedient. When you think of the things that you want and you focus on them with all of your intention, then the law of attraction will give you exactly 14 the secret what you want every time. When you focus on the things that you don't want, I don't want to be late, I don't want to be late. The law of attraction doesn't hear that you don't want it. It manifests the things that you're thinking of, and so it's going to show up over and over and over again. The law of attraction is not biased to wants or don't wants. When you focus on something, no matter what it happens to be, you really are calling that into existence. When you focus your thoughts on something you want and you hold that focus, you are in that moment summoning what you want with the mightiest power in the universe. The law of attraction doesn't compute don't, or not, or no, or any other words of negation. As you speak words of negation, this is what the law of attraction is receiving. I don't want to spill something on this outfit. I want to spill something on this outfit, and I want to spill more things. I don't want a bad haircut. I want bad haircuts. I don't want to be delayed. I want delays. I don't want that person to be rude to me. I want that person and more people to be rude to me. I don't want the restaurant to give away our table. I want restaurants to give away our tables. I don't want these shoes to hurt. I want shoes to hurt. I can't handle all this work. I want more work than I can handle. I don't want to catch the flu. I want the flu and I want to catch more things. I don't want to argue. I want more arguing. Don't speak to me like that. I want you to speak to me like that, and I want other people to speak to me like that. The law of attraction is giving you what you are thinking about, period. B.O.B. Proctor, the law of attraction, is always working, whether you believe it or understand it or not. The law of attraction is the law of creation. Quantum physicists tell us that the entire universe emerged from thought. You create your life through your thoughts and the law of attraction, and every single person does the same. It doesn't just work if you know about it. It has always been working in your life and every other person's life throughout history. When you become aware of this great law, then you become aware of how incredibly powerful you are to be able to think your life into existence. Lisa Nichols, it's working as much as you're thinking. Anytime your thoughts are flowing, the law of attraction is working. When you're thinking about the past, the law of attraction's working. When you're thinking about the present or the future, the law of attraction is working. It's an ongoing process. You don't press pause. You don't press stop. It is forever in action, as your thoughts are. Whether we realize it or not, we are thinking most of the time. If you are speaking or listening to someone, you are thinking. If you are reading the newspaper or watching television, you are thinking. When you recall memories from your past, you are thinking. When you are considering something in your future, you are thinking. When you are driving, you are thinking. When you are getting ready in the morning, you are thinking. For many of us, the only time we are not thinking is when we are asleep. However, the forces of attraction are still operating on our last thoughts as we fall asleep. Make your last thoughts before going to sleep good thoughts. Michael Bernard Beckwith creation is always happening. Every time an individual has a thought or a prolonged chronic way of thinking, they're in the creation process. Something is going to manifest out of those thoughts. What you are thinking now is creating your future life. You create your life with your thoughts because you are always thinking, you are always creating. What you think about the most or focus on the most is what will appear as your life. Like all the laws of nature, there is utter perfection in this law. You create your life. Whatever you sow, you reap. Your thoughts are seeds, and the harvest you reap will depend on the seeds you plant. If you are complaining, the law of attraction will powerfully bring into your life more situations for you to complain about. If you are listening to someone else complain and focusing on that, sympathizing with them, agreeing with them, in that moment, you are attracting more situations to yourself to complain about. The law is simply reflecting and giving back to you exactly what you are focusing on with your thoughts. With this powerful knowledge, you can completely change every circumstance and event in your entire life by changing the way you think. Bill Harris, teacher and founder of Centerpoint Research Institute, I had a student named Robert who was taking an online course I have, part of which entails email access to me. Robert was gay. He outlined all of the grim realities of his life in his emails to me. In his job, his co-workers ganged up on him. It was constantly stressful because of how nasty they were with him. When he walked down the street, he was accosted by homophobic people who wanted to abuse him in some way. He wanted to become a stand-up comedian, and when he did a stand-up comedy job, everybody heckled him about being gay. His whole life was one of unhappiness and misery, and it all focused around being attacked because he was gay. I began to teach him that he was focusing on what he did not want. I directed him back to his email that he sent me and said, "Read it again. Look at all the things you do not want that you're telling me about. I can tell you're very passionate about this, and when you focus on something with a lot of passion, it makes it happen even faster." Then he started taking this thing about focusing on what you want to heart, and he began really trying it. What happened within the next 6 to 8 weeks was an absolute miracle. All the people in his office who had been harassing him either transferred to another department, quit working at the company, or started completely leaving him alone. He began to love his job. When he walked down the street, nobody harassed him anymore. They just weren't there. When he did his stand-up comedy routines, he started getting standing ovations, and nobody was heckling him. His whole life changed because he changed from focusing on what he did not want, what he was afraid of, what he wanted to avoid, to focusing on what he did want. Robert's life changed because he changed his thoughts. He emitted a different frequency out into the universe. The universe must deliver the pictures of the new frequency no matter how impossible the situation might seem. Robert's new thoughts became his new frequency, and the pictures of his entire life changed. Your life is in your hands. No matter where you are now, no matter what has happened in your life, you can begin to consciously choose your thoughts, and you can change your life. There is no such thing as a hopeless situation. Every single circumstance of your life can change. The power of your mind. Michael Bernard Beckwith, you attract to you the predominant thoughts that you're holding in your awareness, whether those thoughts are conscious or unconscious. That's the rub. Whether you have been aware of your thoughts in the past or not, now you are becoming aware. Right now, with the knowledge of the secret, you are waking up from a deep sleep and becoming aware. Aware of the knowledge, aware of the law, aware of the power you have through your thoughts. Dr. John Demartini, if you look very carefully when it comes to the secret and the power of our mind and the power of our intention in our daily lives, it's all around us. All we have to do is open our eyes and look. Lisa Nichols, you can see the law of attraction everywhere. You draw everything to yourself. The people, the job, the circumstances, the health, the wealth, the debt, the joy, the car that you drive, the community that you're in. And you've drawn them all to you like a magnet. What you think about you bring about your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go on in your head. This is a universe of inclusion, not exclusion. Nothing is excluded from the law of attraction. Your life is a mirror of the dominant thoughts you think. All living things on this planet operate through the law of attraction. The difference with humans is that they have a mind that can discern. They can use their free will to choose their thoughts.